Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Hummel, the Tier 6 German SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Cliff and it's under the command of Talon 1958. Game started. Well, I think you might notice that he's actually got the stock gun on the Hummel. That's not because he hasn't earned the top gun. He plays the stock gun out of choice. That's the 15cm gun that's actually the top gun on the Gorilla, and it's got a far better trajectory than the top gun. You can see he's got an ace tanker, a high caliber and other awards in this vehicle already because he's got the markings on the vehicle, the marks. Okay, he's picked a spot where he can shoot at them. Now, Talon's a perfectionist. He likes to dial in on his targets and get really accurate shots on them before he shoots. Looking up at the center line, he's found an LTG, which is a Tier 7 Soviet Light. He's dialing in, almost ready to go. Fires his first one in, and it lands just in front of where the LTG was. Now he's just relocating a little, just in case the enemy did notice where his tracer came from. If they do fire at the spot in front of him, then obviously he knows they're trying to counter battery him. But if they don't try to shoot him, there's a possibility he might be able to stay stationary for a little while longer before having to relocate every time. Fires around the Chibi. Direct hit. 183 this time. Now, the other good thing about having the Hummel with the stock gun is you get more rounds to play with. If you only use the top gun, you only get 18 rounds, and well, that can be quite limiting. Fires around at the Britann Panther, or we call it as the Baguette Panther, and he actually gets a hit for 242. Now, these rounds, these 15cm rounds, they are capable of doing 540 alpha, penetrating 38mm of armor with a burst radius of 7 meters. He's fired at the Super Hellcat, lands directly behind him. If he hadn't moved forward the way he did, he might have taken a direct hit, and for a Super Hellcat that probably would have been very nasty. Okay, he's ready to go again. Yes, he's looking towards that Super Hellcat. Very light armor on that tank destroyer, and he's playing it in a very forward position, which could be deadly if he stays there. Rounds already on the way, and it lands close. Oh, he dodged that one, almost Matrix-like, by moving forwards. And in fact, actually, he's now going up towards the top of the cliff. And you can see that Talon's following him at the moment because waiting for the reload before he lobs another round in. He fires in. That was a bit too late. And the shell will explode behind the Super Hellcat. But when he gets up there, he's going to meet a setter who's on top of the hill. And I'm pretty sure that setter will set about doing some damage. And a Leo's joined the setter up on top of the hill. So I don't think the Super Hellcat's going to last very long. In the meantime, Talon's got two targets to shoot at now. A KV-2 and an Eagle 7. He's firing at the Eagle 7 first. Good hit. 220 recorded. A direct hit. Just changing position slightly. Okay, we've got a Hellcat now facing off against our VK3601H. Talon's dialed in, rounds out, kills the Hellcat, stone dead, and now gives the VK3601H something else to hide behind. Notice how he's just moving backwards and forwards from the same spot. It does help as well because obviously the enemy, if they are looking for tracer, they might fire at the old position and miss him altogether. You don't have to always keep moving about and finding new firing positions. Just finding a spot that's not where you expect it to be. Now, that's a bit of a problem. He's got a grayed out line. That means the maximum range is where that center dot is located at the moment, which is a little too far forward. In order to get that shot on that LTG, he's going to have to move forward himself. And I don't think he's prepared to do that just yet. In the meantime, though, he might be able to hit this VK3601P instead. and he fires a round in just as the VK starts pulling back, but he gets 10 hit points of splash. So again, Matrix-like movement from the enemy where they pull back just in time to dodge the shell. Okay, it looks like the KV-2's on reload because he just fired his 152mm howitzer, and Talon fires around in and smacks him for 209. He's not going to be a happy bunny. He's tracked at the moment, so he's not going back until he's repaired those. Reload time is 21 seconds, or 20.74 actually, which again is faster than the standard 15 centimeter, the top gun 15 centimeter that this Arty carries. You'd expect to get about 23 seconds if you're reloading the Top Gun. It does fire further, but it does have some problems in terms of the trajectory is lower, and that means sometimes you have problems trying to shoot over things. He's going for the Baguette Panther. It hits the ground near where he was last seen. Unfortunately, we just lost our VK3001P by that IS. And there's the LTG. He's very low on hit points. With 2 tanks down on the enemy at the moment. But that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to lose this game. He fires another round in the LTG. That T-34 2GFT is just around the corner. And at this moment, he might be able to get a hit on it if he stays where he is. Just waiting for the reload to complete. The Baguettes come around the other side of the cliff. He knocks the tree down, so he's firing on where the tree was knocked down to see if he could hit that tank. And luckily, the Nashorn managed to kill the Baguette Panther from some distance away. They're only 1 tank behind now. And the VK3001P is coming to sight. Now, he, if you remember, was retreating from the east side of the lighthouse hill. And now he's come around the other side, and this time he dies to the Nashorn. Unfortunately, T-3485M on the enemy team killed the Nashorn a moment or so later. And we didn't see where that T-3485M was. Now you can see now that he's got a greyed out line, which means he cannot shoot at the enemy Arty. He can probably find out where they are by looking for the tracer, but he couldn't fire at them because they're just too far away. There's the T-3485M. He must have been up at the center line, and it looks like he's trying to approach our SU-100M1, who's up in the sniper's nest, or he's trying to get shots on the Skoda T-25. Talon's dialed in on the last known position, fires a round in, and now we've got a different threat. It's the IS. Well, he's just being killed by the SU-100M1 from the sniper's nest, so that's good. Now we've got the LTG up there. He dies to the Skoda. Oh, and the Skoda just took some hits. The T-34 2GFT's moved up to the same spot where the Super Hellcat died, and Talon fires a round in. And what happened to that shell? I think it actually hit the cliff rather than hitting the target. I think that was an unfortunate shot there. He's trying to find out where the spot was. No, you're looking too close. A bit further away. That's it. That's it. Okay, now he's aiming where he last saw that T-34 2GFT. Fires the round in. It hits the spot, but there doesn't appear to be an enemy tank there. The T-3485M is looking up at the SU-100M1. And Talon's round lands nearby, or does it? No, that wasn't his round there. It was the M44. He fires one in, and it lands near the target, and quite a good hit as well. 186 hit points of splash. And hopefully that T3485M will get taken out by the SU-101 here, M1. And here comes the Skoda to take out the T34. He can't sit there anymore. And he's been hit now for another 220 by Talon. If he stays there, he will get splashed to death. He knows it. Only a few seconds left to live. And he's going back to the garage. Rounds out. Here we go. Yep. He's in the garage now. Bad decision. Tried to sneak up on the SU-100M1 and it failed miserably. That means now, instead of being behind the enemy, we're now way ahead of them. In fact, we're now outnumber them 2-1. They've only got the heavy tank left, the KV-2 and 2 Arty. The T-34 2GFT was taken out of the game, although I can't remember who actually took him out. Somebody did. So it's just a matter of finding those last few enemy and taking them out of the game. And it means that Talon's going to have to move from his current position because he can't get hits on them. They're too far away at the moment. He only knows where the KV-2 was last seen on this corner. And he's only got 7 rounds of ammo left. In fact, he's saying, ARL move up so I can. He needs the ARL to tell him where the enemy KV-2 is so he can start smacking him. The ARL will fend off any of the shots from the KV-2. And there he is. In fact, he's a lot closer than we thought. And in fact, actually, the ARL's starting to take damage. So Talon's now going to have to go to work. He's dialing in. Direct hit on the KV-2. I think the ARL must have been taking damage from the enemy Arty. He'll go for another shot on the same spot, even though he's only got 6 rounds left. He's marked the spot, but he wants his teammates to confirm, is the KV-2 there? He's moved. Now that's good, because he confirmed that he has saved himself a round. But it means he's going to have to change position because he can't hit the KV-2 where he was. And it means he has to get much closer to that KV-2. Closer than he'd like to. And the ARL just got hit by enemy Arty as well. The M44 and Talon's Hummel are both going in for the shotgun kill. Even if the ARL can't kill him, these two Arty can. And, well, he's gone. The ARL got the kill. And there's the T-34 2GFT. So he must have come around the corner and met somebody who had a bigger gun firing at him. SU-100M1's going ahead to have a look for the last remaining Arty. It's M44. Talon needs to pull back a little so he can shoot over this rock. In fact, actually, he's decided to go around it. There they are. He goes to the aim straight away, dials in, trying to get a shot on target before, and he's killed by the Skoda before Talon can lose his last round. So, good game for Talon 1958. It was going the opposite way, but now he's swung it all the way around by giving good Arty support to his teammates. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, first class tanker for Talon 1958 in the Hummel. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 16, and he got a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else in his team. At least 6 tanks, which were subsequently taken out by other teammates, and that makes a big difference because he stripped them of their hit points and allowed them to become easy kills for his teammates to take down. His win rate for the battle was 4,133, which is Super Unicum standard and will probably put him at the top of the table. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he is. Oh my god, look, he is right at the top of the table. In fact, he got the highest damage in the game, but no high caliber. And I often wonder why that happens, but as most people have pointed out to me, it normally happens because you didn't get 20% of the enemy hit pool in total. But in this case, he did do a lot of damage. He got the highest damage, 2,157 hit points. The next highest scorer being the M44 on the enemy team. He got a Confederate for 1,974 hit points. And the third highest was the IS on the enemy team with 1,766. When it came to kills though, it was the Skoda that did the best. He got 4 kills in that game. He also picked up a Leather Slayers medal and a Pascucci medal. And the next high scorer being the IS on the enemy team, 3 kills to him, 2 kills to Talon, the Nashorn, the KV2 and the VK3001P. And when it came to base XP, it was Skoda. 1039 base to him, 875 went to Talon, 854 went to the Setter, who also picked up a patrol duty in that game for spotting at least 6 enemy vehicles whilst they were damaged, and being the only one spotting them. He fired 21 rounds in that game, 6 direct hits, 1 penetration, 16 splash, damage of 2,157 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 2, so that's an 8 difference, that's for the Confederate, and 342 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. He actually earned 47,475 credits from the game, got 60,000 for completing the mission and events, and that brought up a total of 107,475 credits. After ammunition resupply, he took away a profit from a tier 6 Arty of 96,870 credits, which is good in anyone's book. Even if you take off the 60,000 for completing the mission, 36,000 would still be a great score for a tier 6 Arty. 1,312 XP times 2 for the first victory, 1,000 for completing the mission and events, and took away 3,625 experience points altogether. I often believe that an Arty player who practices his Arty in as much as Talon does, and also practices being accurate by letting the aim settle on the target before you fire, means you get these great results that are proven by what Talon did in this game. He gets a Confederate medal, which means that he was a really big support to his team, and of course the fact that he ended up with the highest damage in the game shows that he was making as much use of his howitzer as he could to help his team. So really, Confederate medals are the team's helpers. They're the ones who actually bring about victory, and of course, as you saw during the battle, they were 2 tanks down at one point, but it turned all the way around and they won this game fairly comfortably in the end. So I think a lot of that credit has to go to Talon, because in this game he showed that his talent actually brought them the victory. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.